In this video, I will discuss about the secondary growth of plants. So this secondary growth of plants mostly occurs in the dicots because ang monocot kay wala sila secondary growth. So let us take a review from our previous video about the primary growth. So we have here the apical initials, or this is the growing points, and that has some other cells that gives rise of the protoderm, the procambium, and the ground meristem. And this protoderm gives rise of epidermis, procambium gives rise of primary phloem and xylem, and of course it gives rise of vascular cambium, and this ground meristem gives rise of cortex and pith. So in this video, we will discuss this part, this vascular cambium and this cortex, because these mainly contribute to the secondary growth of plants. So here, the vascular cambium, the diameter growth is accomplished mainly by cell division in vascular cambium, also called lateral or wood cambium. So the vascular cambium is also called the lateral cambium or the wood cambium. So this initiates to the increase in diameter of plants, vascular cambium. Vascular cambium is a sheath of meristematic cells, which means this is a living tissue or cells uh, na diri ang growing points situated between the secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. So as you can see the illustration, uh, this vascular cambium, this one, is situated between the phloem and the xylem because natungan siya kay ang vascular cambium nagproduce siya og xylem and phloem, outward and inward. It extends from the growing tips in the stem and the branches into the corresponding regions in the roots. So the vascular cambium not only occurs in the stem but also in the branches and the roots. Vascular cambium consists of two kinds of cells, the fusiform initials and the ray initials. So these are called cambial cells or cambial cells or cambial initials. So as you can see the illustration here, so this is your bark, muning bark sa imong kahoy, and beneath the bark is the vascular cambium. So here in the vascular cambium, this part, this vascular cambium, makita na to ang ray initials and the fusiform initials. So fusiform initials give rise to all the longitudinal oriented cells in the wood and the phloem. So basically, these fusiform initials during the cell division, nagproduce siya og xylem and phloem. In conifers, fusiform initials range in length from less than 200 to more than 9,000 microns. So micron is also known as micrometer. That is 1 times 10 to the power of negative 6. So kung makita nimo, this is the decimal places. And then when you try to convert this 9,000 microns, this will give the 9 millimeters. So kung hunaon nimo, in conifers, ang fusiform initials kini, kung sa conifers, pinakataas na measure is 9 millimeter of your ruler. So fusiform initials, so kining elongated cells here, muning fusiform initials. The highly specialized hardwoods have relatively short and nearly uniform fusiform cambial initials ranging from 300 to 600 microns. So katong i-compare nato na mas tagas ang fusiform initials sa conifers kaysa angiosperms or hardwood. The increase of fusiform initials is more pronounced in conifers. Mas grabe siya sa conifers, which make increase in length from 100 to 400% in the first 40 to 60 years. So this means that ang 400% is times 4 the length. So na mo increase siya times 4. While in hardwoods, the increase in length is seldom to reach more than 100%. So mas grabe ang sa conifers or sa mga softwood. Ray initials. Ray initials produce rays in both these tissues. The ray initials, when viewed tangentially, are rounded cells. So kaning mga rounded cells na ipagka-rectangular and with little variation in size and shape. So magkanilain ang shape and sizes. Ray initials are shorter, generally rectangular cells, which give rise to the cells in ray system. So this also gave rise to the xylem ray and the phloem ray na sideward. So let us compare the fusiform initials versus the ray initials. The fusiform initials is elongated cells katong pataas. Ray initials, rounded or rectangular cells. Fusiform initials undergo periclinal cell divisions, or in other words, it adds length to the stem and roots. So pataas siya. While ray initials undergo anticlinal cell division, pasabot na this is horizontal, pababag siya, or it is vertical of the axis of the stem. So, sideward yang ang division niya, or increase the diameter of the vascular cambium. So, patakilid. Ang kini is pa taas. Fusiform initials aligned lengthwise parallel to the surface of the stem or root. So, parallel to the stem. So, vertical siya. And these re-initials are horizontal arranged cells. Fusiform initials, upward transport of water and minerals and downward transport of foods, because ang fusiform initials kay nag-produce man siya og xylem and phloem. So, mag-conduct siya og to transport water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, and to transport foods from the leaves downward to the different parts of plants padulong sa root. While the re-initials support and sideways transport of foods and water. So kung ang fusiform initials nag-initiate siya og transport of water and minerals, foods upward, pa straight pataas, ang kining re-initials kay pababag ang iyang transport sa foods and water. Vascular cambium consists of two kind of cells. So just like I said, fusiform initials and the re-initials. The cambial cells, or it is also called cambial cells or cambial initials. Vascular cambium produces vascular tissues called secondary xylem and secondary phloem. So, ang vascular cambium kay na siya cambial initial, gitawag man siya fusiform, na siya fusiform initials and re-initials, ang gitawag cambial cells or initials. So, pasabot na initials siya ang start. So, kani sila na mga cells or the cambial cells gitawag siya, nagproduce siya og xylem and phloem, the secondary xylem and phloem. So as secondary xylem and phloem tissue accumulates, it both increases the girth of the stem and forms wood and bark. So samtang nagkadaghan ang secondary xylem na na-produce and phloem, magkadako ang kahoy. The addition of new cells in xylem and phloem is accomplished by the tangential division of the cambial initials. So these fusiform initials and re-initials na siya tangential division. Later we'll discuss it. The cambial initials continue to divide in this manner throughout the growing season, with one cell always remaining a cambial initial. So always siya na cambial initial to start a new cell division, and the other giving rise to new phloem or xylem cells. So here, this is the illustration. So ato ni kuha na mo na imong kahoy. Simple mo na imong kahoy. Then this is the cambial cambium, di ba? Nadri ang fusiform initials and re-initials. Ang kani siyang cambial initials, mag-produce siya og xylem pasulod sa kahoy, and mag-produce siya og phloem pagawas. So kini mahimo siyang usually dapit sa bark. Ang kini is usually katong wood nimo. So ang imong tanawon diri, it starts from the cambial initials. Then ang una niya gi-produce kay ang xylem. Sa next na kuan is gi-produce niya ang phloem. Sa next kay nag-produce na po siya og xylem, and the next stage na produce siya og phloem. So this happens as the hantod na magdako ang kahoy na nagyapon niyang orientation. So kung makita nimo na una gi-produce ang xylem. So munang mas makita nimo na mas baga gid ang xylem kaysa phloem, kay gamay ra man yung phloem dapit sa bark. So the xylem and phloem. Cell division of fusiform initials produces more xylem than phloem. So mas makita nimo na mas nagproduce siya daghang xylem. So kini diri na part, this is xylem. This is xylem. And this is na part, kini bark ni siya, na diri dapit ang phloem. So gamay ra kayong phloem compared to the xylem. The secondary xylem is commonly called wood. So this is called the xylem. So simply this is called wood. Mo gini imong kahoy. Di ba? Kaya ang panit dili man kahoy ang panit. Secondary xylem conducts water and minerals upward. So diri mangagi ang water upward and minerals from the roots to the leaves. Secondary phloem conducts food downward. So through photosynthesis na siya products na carbohydrates. So iyang transport, i-distribute niya throughout the plants gamit ang secondary phloem. So panaog. So let us hear the summary. So this is the ato nang natakol ang vascular cambium, which is the secondary growth, and this pursuit to the cortex that also contributes to the secondary growth of plants. So kung makita nimo, these are the cambial types of cambial. So we have here the vascular cambium. sa which just discussed kini siya. And the next slides we will discuss this the cork cambium. Another cambial, the cork cambium or the phyllogen that produces periderm, the phylum, cork cells, and cork parenchyma. So we have here the cork cambium. There are two types of dermal tissue in vascular plants. Pasapot na vascular plants na siya support and okay, the epidermis and the periderms. So this epidermis, they are formed during the primary growth. So makita nimo diri ana nay epidermis, but these are replaced during primary growth but are replaced by the periderms in plants that have secondary growth. So for the plants na nay secondary growth, iyang pulihan ang epidermis with periderms. So just as I said, ang monocot kay walay secondary growth. Munang lubi kay bisag pila na katuig ang lubi, pareha gyapon kadako ang iyang diameter tungod kay may secondary growth. So that's an example of monocot na walay secondary growth. So for the dicot na may secondary growth, so iyang pulihan ang epidermis with periderm. Periderm is produced by the cork cambium. So same ra gyapon ang concept. So ganina kay vascular cambium nagproduce sa phylum and phloem, karon is the cork cambium that produces the periderm. So the periderm consists of cork, phylloderm, and cork cambium cells. The cork or the phylum forms to the outside of the cork cambium. So pasabot na pag outside siya, this is the bark. Dapit na siya sa pagawas. So mostly na siya sa bark. Pero ang cork cambium is nasa bark din siya, but this is the outermost part, ang cork. Then it consists of dead cells when mature. So pag mature, mamatay ang cells. So munang makita ninyo na ang kahoy kay mga tangtang ang panit, na. Then phylloderm is the thinner layer of living parenchyma cells in the inward side. So sa sulod na part is the phylloderm, which is living. So dire nimo makita ang parenchyma, katong mga sclerenchyma, na. So this is the bark. Inner bark, the living secondary phloem and dead phloem between the vascular cambium and the innermost cork cambium and the remaining cortex. Because ang bark is mainly composed of the phloem and the, di ba kay ang nagkunaning bark is ang, di ba ang vascular cambium and the cork cambium. So ang bark makita nimo na siya products diri sa vascular cambium ug na pa siya products sa cork cambium. Kibali na siya phloem ang bark. Kay ang bark is the phloem is the outermost produce of the vascular cambium. So dapit siya sa bark. And ang cork cambium nagproduce man po siya og mga kining cork phylloderm. So muna siya ang bark kay na siya phloem og na po siya innermost cork cambium and the remaining cortex. So the outer bark consists of dead tissue, including dead secondary phloem and all the layers of the periderm outside of the cork cambium. So as the cells mature, katong cork, pag ma-mature siya, mamatay siya, and then mga tangtang siya. So muna siyang kinina part. So ang sulod ani next ani na layer is katong makita nimo ang living buhi siya. So moto ang kining phylloderm ang sunod na. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching.